Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Theta. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. Now let's jump straight into the daily chart. Taking a look at Theta against USDT, you can see that we are in this channel down pattern. Now, if you haven't seen the previous update, feel free to check that out. It's going to be linked in the top right hand corner of the screen. Watch that before watching this one so that you have more context, and then come back to this video. Now, usually a channel down pattern is broken to the upside, so there's a breakout happening at some point in the future. Now, when is the big question? We don't know the answer to that question. So what we can do is we can simply react to the bounces and to the support levels. Now you can see we have set up a support block from 77.5 cents down to 55 cents. Now this is a pretty huge accumulation area, one would say, but I would say this is relatively speaking where we're going to bottom out for this cycle if we're going to be losing the December 2022 low. Now, I don't think we're going to be dropping below 55 cents, although anything can happen, but that's a 28% pullback from where we are right now down to 55 cents. And 55 cents is exactly what we retested back in November 2020. So this support block is based off of this trading range that we had in 2020. So we broke above in December 2020, and then we're coming back down and we are retesting this as support. So this area is going to be turning into a support moving forward, and we're hopefully going to be moving into the next bull market from this zone. And if you zoom out, actually, this is a very, very good looking chart because you're printing essentially a higher low. And hopefully with the next move to the upside, we're going to be able to print a higher high, with the next high being at least at $28.50, which is the 1.272 Fibonacci retracement level. So that is what I'm looking at. And in the previous few videos, we were targeting 77.5 cents as a major entry. And that target has been met. As you can see, the price action dropped even below that slightly. So if you were looking for some entries into Theta, now is the time to be entering. Not a financial advice, but we're pretty much sitting at this local low here that we printed back in January 2023, just 6 months ago, which is really crazy if you think about it. Time flew by really quickly, and hopefully we're going to be able to hold this low, guys, but like I said, we don't know what's going to be happening, and we do have to look at other possibilities. For example, what if we are going to be losing this 1.618 low? Because if you take a look at the fib, we have set up this swing high here in November 2022 and the swing low in October 2022. Now the 1.618 was perfectly met all the way back in December. From there, we saw a move to the upside, a lower high, another lower high, and now we're moving back down to the 1.618. So this could be a situation where we have, once again, a bounce off the 1.618, but things can go south. We can have a deeper pullback, and we can drop all the way back down to the second fib level, which is sitting approximately at 62.5 cents. Now, what you can also target is this previous resistance that we have here. Now, you take a look at this high in August, the next high in November last year, and we already have a back test of support. This would look a bit nicer on the weekly chart, but you get the idea. You have a resistance level, you broke above that in January, you back tested it as support in March, and now potentially you're looking for another back test. So hopefully we don't drop below this pink trend line. As long as we stay above it, as long as we have a bounce above it, I'm fine with that. And obviously, holding this low would be ideal, but you can't always get, whatever you want. And on top of that, if we go lower and you're bullish on the project, there is no reason for you not to be buying into this thing, guys, because technically speaking, we can come all the way back down to the bottom of this channel down pattern. So you can come back down to retest this support over here, and that is going to be roughly where the bottom of this support block is. So all of these levels come together very nicely. And I would say 60 2 down to 55 cents is probably where our bottom is going to be if we end up breaking below the January low. Don't take my word for it, obviously. You can set up some buy limit orders just in case, when we have that flash crash, you can get filled, and the price usually recovers fairly quickly after flash crashes, after these black swan events. And even if we don't have a black swan event, guys, this is extremely cheap. Like Theta below 80 cents is very cheap. Personally, I do have a bit of like a small bag, and I'm going to be getting more tokens down the line. Obviously, my patrons will be advised on that immediately. Taking a look at the daily chart on the RSI, you can see that we have a support block from 34.8 down to 27.08, and we've entered this block one more time. The last few times we entered, we had a little bit of a retracement to the upside here in the past 30 days, but a bigger retracement could be seen in March. As you can see, we had a pretty strong move to the upside. We could have something similar playing out, but technically speaking, every single time you entered this green support block, you were soon in profit. Like fairly soon you were moving out and pumping into the overbought, or just having a little retracement. So if you're looking for a short to mid-term trade, this is the perfect entry. If you're looking for a long-term trade or just long-term hodling, this is also a perfect area for you to get into Theta. Now let's switch over to the weekly chart. And before we continue with the video, I quickly want to mention my Patreon that's linked down below in the description. If you enjoy my content, you want to get more exclusive content, and you want to support me at the same time, definitely feel free to check out the Patreon, because you're going to get a 7-day free access on my Patreon and an instant access to all of my content since October 2021, which is when I started. You'll get access to content like exclusive weekly podcasts, and we're starting to invite guests already. We have 40 plus low cap gem posts. We have a bunch of project reviews. We have a bunch of resources that are going to help you save time and make more money with this upcoming bull market. So this is definitely a great exchange of value for the both of us. And once again, there's a 7-day free trial. Feel free to check it out. You can leave anytime, and let's continue with the video. Taking a look at the weekly chart, as you can see, we have sort of the same support block here, but on the weekly chart. So we took the weekly candle closes, and that's why the support block looks just slightly different with slightly different prices, but it's roughly the same idea here. And you can see that we have the support trend line here sitting exactly at the bottom that we printed in January 2023. So that would be, if I bring out a price tag, that would be exactly sitting at 73 cents or so. So that's going to be a massive support level, guys, for us to hold. And with this recent pullback from April, we were already down approximately 40%. So this is a good area for us to start dollar cost averaging. Now, if we get a scenario where we keep bouncing up and down in between the support and the resistance, we might get squeezed down to the bottom of the support block, just because you have these bounces off the resistance trend line, getting us lower and lower every single time. So it's suppressing us down, this resistance trend line, and at some point the support may not hold and we're just going to drop back down to 55 cents. That is also a possibility. So don't think if we have a resistance trend line then we just have to break it because the bull market has to come. No, we can have multiple pullbacks before the next bull market, guys. Don't think we're going to be doing this in one nice swing to the upside. Not everyone is going to be able to make money in these markets, guys. Remember that. So stay patient, and if you do that, you're going to get to the bull market eventually. And if we jump into the weekly chart, you can see that the RSI is taking a bit of a pullback here, taking a bit of a dive, so to speak, and we can set up a support block immediately just so we can see what areas we can target. Now, based off this support block, we have a bounce here in January, a move back down in May, and this area was held as support for the most part in 2023. So this is something where I would be accumulating more tokens. So between 35.8 down to 31.8, that's a great level to accumulate. The stochastic is sitting in the oversold below the index of 20, so that's another great indicator telling us to average in. And if we want to be looking at some long-term targets, as we've discussed already on the daily chart, we take out a fib from the presumed bear market bottom right now, which is roughly sitting at, let me just zoom in a bit and have this smack dab on point. So that is going to be $28 roughly. That's going to be the 1.272 based off of the swing low in December last year and the swing high in March 2021. That puts us at roughly $28 per token, which is a $28 billion market cap, which I think is very possible for Theta to do in the next bull market. So thank you all for watching this video, guys. If I missed out anything important, let me know down below in the comment section. I'm going to see you in the next update. Take care and stay safe.